Good morning. It's Lisa Lovestone with my matcha morning. And my bedhead musing. And what else do I have? I just drank my smoothie. I was reminded that I really need to focus on my protein first thing in the morning. So, I put, I have a NutriBullet, and I put, one of my Premier protein shakes. I'm out of the, I had some Premier protein shake powder, because it's cheaper to make it that way than to buy the little boxes. And I'm so glad those are in boxes rather than plastic. Anyway, so that's got how many? 32 grams of protein or something like that, or 30. So I got my 30 grams of protein first thing in the morning. And it had, plus more, because I had organic Greek yogurt from Stonyfield Farms, which was over $8, like $8.60 for yogurt. I used to think when it was $4 it was expensive. Oh my God, it's doubled. Make America Great Again, my ass. It's getting worse. The air quality in the CSRA, which is the Savannah River region, which is parts of Georgia and parts of South Carolina, the air quality is unhealthy. It's been unhealthy for days. I'm feeling it when I'm breathing. Like when I take my walks, walk dogs, whatever. Anyway, yeah, things are getting better by far, my ass. The president, what's his face, Frumpy, is dismantling FEMA, and my Georgia senators and the Georgia governor, Governor Kemp is a Republican, and they asked the president, I'm not going to call him that, he's a joke, Frumpy, for more money for our hurricane cleanup, because we're still cleaning up. We're not done. We were devastated. And we've asked for more money, and he said no. Nope. I mean, when people pay federal taxes, that's supposed to come back to them, right? In forms of highways and byways and street lights and highway patrol to help keep us safe, and then to help with natural disasters. And Frumpy took that away from us. So I don't know how people think he's doing a great job, how they're supporting him. Okay, I wasn't going to talk about politics. Yikes, sorry. Okay, back to my smoothie. My smoothie had, okay, so it has organic wild blueberries, organic cherries. Cherries are great for inflammation and joint pain. And blueberries, you know, and cherries both are very high in antioxidants. Organic or fresh picked blueberries that don't have, you know, chemical sprays on them. Blueberries are super high in antioxidants, and the cherries are too. So I had plenty of protein, some vitamins in there, blueberries, cherries, organic Greek yogurt, which is high in protein, and some soy milk, you know, and the Premier Protein Shake, which was protein and some vitamins in there and minerals. So I just have to be careful with my iron. When I start eating or drinking healthy things, sometimes iron is in there as well, and I don't need or want any iron. So I'm gonna just have to really be careful, and I'm gonna have to step it up and donate more blood more often. I just got my blood drawn at my doctor's office, so that's good, but that's not very much. That was like 4 vials. That's not enough. I need more taken out. Anyway, and then of course I've got my matcha. It's in a blue glass, as you can see. So the color is kind of cool. So what was going to be my subject today? I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk about, oh yeah. Okay, I remember. So, I talked on one of my videos recently this week, because it's Thursday, and I really shouldn't even be home. I'm supposed to be pet sitting right now. I'm on my way. I just want to get my matcha down and take a shower. I'm gonna have to come back home and take a shower because I gotta go. I gotta go let Nellie out to potty as well. Okay, shower later. I talked about how some light workers are not on the same page, like politically and their belief systems. And, you know, Bashar talks a lot about belief systems and how you can have some very stringent belief systems that lower your vibration, that literally keep your vibration from getting higher. And so your belief system can also distort what you're seeing, what you're perceiving. But also, like what happened to me, this is inherited from my dad. And I'm noticing it more and more in my daily actions, my daily thoughts, how I've got to plug my phone in, so I got to move. My phone's dying. I thought it was charged when I went to bed, but apparently not. So like I was talking about people who do not astral projection, but like astral projection. What are the words? I just had the words. Remote viewing. And there's some people who could remote view and they think that they're seeing something, and they are, but they're perceiving it in a way that's not what it is. So I had a really good example of that. So let's say you're remote viewing and you see a married man kissing a woman who he's not married to, right? And you're remote viewing that and you say, oh, this man is cheating on his wife. He kissed this other lady on the cheek and he's holding her hand and he's patting her shoulder and he's showing endearment towards her. He's cheating on his wife. Okay, so that's what you saw. Yeah, you saw this man doing this, but you're perceiving your beliefs, what you're believing is happening. You know, if you have a belief that men cheat or whatever, all men are cheaters, it's going to reflect through your perception of what's happening there. So you're remote viewing and you're seeing something happening, but your perception has distorted what is actually happening. See? When the truth is, this is this man's sister. And she just got out of the hospital and she just had a double mastectomy. And the doctors say, we believe we got all the cancer. And he is endearing his sister because he's so grateful that she's alive. And he kisses her here, and he hugs her, and he rubs her shoulder, and he holds her hand. He's so grateful she's alive. He loves his sister. He's not cheating on his wife. But as a remote viewer, over in the corner watching, viewing, you think he's cheating on his wife. That's his sister. See, so what I'm trying to get at is it doesn't matter what you're doing. So with my situation with my little sister, I know that there's been a lot of curses in my family, especially on my dad's side. There was some serious spirituality going on, I would guess, with my grandmother, my dad's mother. She was mostly Native American, and my grandfather only married her because of the dowry he got of hers. Because, back in them days, women couldn't have anything. They couldn't own anything. So men would marry a woman so he would have more. And people want to fucking go back to that. When us women have been fighting for our freedom, for our equality, and then you motherfuckers want to bring us right back there. What is wrong with you? I don't want some man owning me. No. No. Over my dead body, nobody will own me. So, anyway, sorry. Oh, God. Ugh. Okay, so where was I? My sister. So my sister was killed in a car accident when she was 16. I don't know the details of that moment when she died, if her spirit rose up out of her body and was just kind of there, not really knowing if it was going to go back into the body or if it was going to go to heaven. But while she was out of the body, because the body was dead, her body was dead, and the ambulance came, her body had been dead a while. You know, usually you can't revive a person if they've been dead for more than 3 to 5 minutes, right? But this was way out in the country in Wyoming. It took a long time for the ambulance to get there. And the fire truck, the first responders, whoever could get there first, right? So in the meantime, when a dark entity was just kind of hanging out in the country, that's what blows my mind. What's a dark entity doing out there in the country? I mean, what? Well, I guess waiting for somebody to die on that road, because there was accidents on that road all the time. People just don't fucking get it. You can't drive fast on that road. And when the EMTs brought her body, back to where she had a breath, the dark entity stepped in. And then she didn't have a body to go back into when they revived the body. So she went to heaven. And she lived in heaven for over 30 years. And then just recently, my spirit team and a host of angels and the seraphim and the cherubim, we all collectively got that fucking dark entity out of her body, which I thought the body would just collapse and die. But instead, she jumped back into her body from heaven. And she has no idea she's been in heaven for over 30 years. That some dark entity's been walking around in her body causing fucking chaos. Hurting her children, hurting people. Just making a mess of everything. Lying. So that demon attacked me. Pissed off because it got kicked out of my sister, right? So then I'm going somewhere with this. So then I had, I'm trying not to use the word demon. I'm calling it a dark entity because we don't give them power. We do not acknowledge them having power. We are greater than they are. They're just dark entities, slimy, nasty things. So, So how do I explain this to make it all blend? So I had recently this thought in my head that there was a demon in somebody else, a dark entity in someone else. And my pendulum and my dowsing rods, when I would ask this question, they would say yes. And then I'd ask the question again and they would say no. And then I'd ask the question again and they would say yes. And then these thoughts would come into my head that somebody had done something bad to somebody I love dearly. And so I was doing this battle, and my dowsing rods and my pendulums just went along with it. Because I guess because I believed it, because I see the possibilities. So I feel like if somebody's got some behavior that is very hurtful, that there must be a dark entity in them making them do that, because that's not the person they used to be. How did they change? How did they become so mean and cruel? So my mind went there, and my pendulum and my dowsing rods accommodated me. Now, I've got a lot of help from my Reiki Master teacher to get through this difficult time. She has given me, some spiritual advice, and I needed confirmation about what my pendulum was telling me. Can you confirm this? But I think something was going on in her life and she couldn't get back to me right away. I think her grandmother or mother or somebody might be dying or something. I'm not sure. But because I can't remember. I know something's going on. I don't remember. So I had already done the battle. And my pendulum and my dowsing rods accommodated me. It scares me that they would do that because it's not honest and true. But I guess my point is we have to be really careful with what we're doing. So your perception is really strong. It has an impact on your light work. Just because you're a light worker doesn't mean you're always right. And I believed something based on something else that was real, that it was happening again with another person. And so, I'd already done the battle. So I was ready for more battle, kick another demon's ass. But we have to be careful about our perception because it can steer us in the wrong direction. That is why sitting with meditation, especially hugging trees and meditating even outside if you can, is so, so important so you can stay focused. Trees help us. Wow, trees help us. I hugged a tree yesterday and I hugged it right up I pushed my heart right up into it and said, make my heart clean, take away all the impurities, help me carry these burdens. And the tree helped me feel so much better. We need our trees. We need them. And so trees take our burden and it feeds them. they turn it into nutrients for their growth. You know, it's kind of like compost. It's basically compost. Like when you throw food in a barrel and it rots, and then you put it into the ground and it's composted, or you just have a compost pile out in your yard, or you can dig a hole that you throw all your compost in, all your, celery that you didn't use, or carrots you didn't use, or your banana peels, you throw that out into the earth. And the earth turns that into nutrients to feed all the plants. And that's what the trees do. They compost our dark energies, our negative energies, our sadness, our confusion. Give it to them. They compost it. They turn it into nutrients for themselves. You're not hurting them. So, use them. Or use Archangel Saint Germain. He has the violet flame. Let him put something in the violet flame and let him neutralize it. You could do that too, but why not give it to a tree so they can have some compost? The yucky mucky stuff. They turn it to good. So we just really need to be careful with our perceptions. And Bashar talks a lot about your belief systems. It's best to not have a religion. It really, really is. Because your beliefs become so distorted. And you can become very negative and judgmental. And that lowers your vibration. And you affect people around you. So if you're a super Christian and you have children, you're harming your children. I know that seems harsh. I was a super Christian. I was so proud of my son. He was an altar boy in the Orthodox Church. I was so proud. He was like a little angel. Everybody loved him. He was beautiful, beautiful child. Everybody wanted him. Everybody, since he was 18, wanted to steal him from me. Because he was so perfect and beautiful and good. And now he's a man. Yeah, our children need to grow up, but oh my God, I miss my little boy. Just a little ball of light. So, yeah. It's easy to let your perception be cloudy. So meditate and stay clean and do the work, stay clear-headed, get rid of the misconceptions. So that's what I just went through. It's all part of my growth, I just need to get back to that place where, I've been negative in a sense that for a while, I would just believe that everybody's good. But people kept showing me that they're not good. And so now I'm in that place where people aren't good. Especially with this hate from the MAGA. They're so hateful. And yeah, I know there's a lot of Democrats that are really hateful right back. So it's a bunch of hate and a bunch of nastiness, and that's not what we need. Everybody's being played. Both sides. So I'm just gonna roll back into that place of neutrality, staying in my own lane. I'm gonna be neutral. I'm gonna keep praying and sending good energy to the universe, to the earth, to Georgia, to the south. Raise the vibration, my vibration. We can't win if everybody hates each other. But please don't take away my rights as a woman. Don't do it. I fought hard. I lived in Wyoming. My dad came from the belief system that women and children were owned. They were property. Because that's how his dad was. And then we moved to Wyoming when I was young, and they're extremely right-winged. And the man is the head of the household. What he says is law. No, we're equal. Man and woman are partners, equals, offering their strength to each other. Or if you're two women, or if you're two men, you offer your strength to each other. I don't care about any of that. It's not my place. I'm not judging anybody. All right, I gotta go. Love, light, peace, blessings. This is Lisa Lovestone signing out.